Jan Kowalski, and I'm here with Green Slate I Incorporated. My name is Jan Kowalski. Well, here. First is, let me show you Green Slate I. Apparently my Zoom didn't work. Let's try this again. I'm Jan Kowalski, and there, I'm joined by, and I'm provided here through Green Slate I Inc., which is a not-for-profit entity. Green Slate is designed, and here's on your screen is their contact information, their email address, their website, and of course their phone number. Back to me. And Green Slate is a not-for-profit entity, and they're designed to assist ex-convicts with re-entry. They have a program for feeding the families of Englewood, and they also have a Circuit Court of Cook County Community Service Program. So once again, I'm here on behalf of Green Slate I Inc. And if you wanted to call Green Slate, the number is 312-866-9748. And the number on your screen is the number to call me. This is a live call-in show, and my name is Jan Kowalski, and I'm an attorney licensed to practice law in Illinois, and I've been licensed in good standing since 2007. And to help you remember my name, there, I'm Jan Kowalski. That's Kowalski. And as a little memory device, I have this cute little picture of a koala on skis because my name is Kowalski. So it's not a teddy bear, it's supposed to be a koala on skis. That's just to help you remember my name is Kowalski. And in case you have any questions, it's not Kawasaki, the motorcycle. Instead, it's Kowalski. And then once again, to help you remember who I am 100% qualified. And once again, my name is Jan Kowalski. The topic for tonight, oh, I did the wrong button, sorry. Oh, there you go. The topic for tonight that I wanted to address is executive clemency and exoneration. All right, here. Give me a second. Is executive clemency, also known as pardon. In addition, sealing and expungement for ex-convicts. And once again, this is a live call-in program, and you can reach me by phone by calling the number displayed on your screen. And that's 312-738-1060. And I'm sure my audience wants to know how many ex-cons are in the Chicagoland viewing neighborhood. Well, the most recent statistics that I have indicate that about 20,000 people are released each year and returned to Chicago from the Illinois Department of Corrections. Now, and once you have a conviction on your record, it's exceedingly difficult to get employment. So this show is directed towards giving you some information as to how to go about seeking to obtain clemency, trying to get your records sealed and get your records expunged. And just by way of introduction, clemency does not mean that you didn't do the crime. Rather, clemency is just a general term for reducing the penalties associated with a conviction. For instance, a pardon is where the sentence is forgiven. Commutation is where the sentence is reduced, and of course reprieve is where there's a temporary postponement of the sentence. Now, executive clemency petitions, the most recent statistics that I have available to me indicate that former Governor Blagojevich pardoned less than 1% of those petitions that he was presented with. Governor Quinn, by far the leader in this category, granted clemency for 37% of the petitions he was presented, and Governor Rauner has granted clemency on approximately 3% of the petitions that he was presented with. And let's see, the most recent statistics indicate that Governor Rauner has been presented with over 2,000 clemency petitions and has granted about 80 of them. And like all clemency petitions, what they're looking for is that the applicants need to have cleaned up their lives, given back to the community, and have a need for the clemency, whether it's a job or a professional license. And what you need to do is fill out the necessary paperwork with the Illinois Prisoner Review Board. And if you go to the Illinois Prisoner Review Board, they have all the forms and instructions available. And again, this is a live call-in show, and if you have any questions about where to go or what you need to file to seek a petition for clemency, feel free to call in. I can be reached at the number on your screen, which is 312-738-1060. In addition to clemency, we also have a procedure called sealing and another procedure called expungement. They sound fancy lawyer terms, but long story short, sealing kind of means it's kept secret, and it's kept secret from employers. However, law enforcement and other people, certain identified individuals, can still access it, but it's a secret from employers. So sealing's often a viable alternative. In addition, we have expungement, which is kind of like an erasure. And in certain instances, if you do not have a conviction, your records can be expunged. And let me just pass by a couple of the myths that are floating out there. For instance, let's suppose you have a conviction and you've pled guilty and you've received a sentence of probation. And they tell you after your sentence of probation is successfully completed that it's not going to be on your record. Well, guess what? Shockingly, you still have to file a petition for sealing or a petition for expungement, of course, depending upon what the conviction was for. So it doesn't, even though they say it's not on your record, it's still on your record. You need to file a petition for expungement or sealing. And interestingly, because we're in the beginning of the year, I thought this was especially timely because we have the President Obama who's leaving office, and he can grant until January 20th, when he's replaced by the new president, he can grant certain executive clemency to federal prisoners. And I thought it was especially timely as the beginning of the year when we want to create a new beginning for all of us. One of the new beginnings that the Illinois legislature recently adopted and became effective January 1st, 2017 is, hold on, here it is. In the Circuit Court of Cook County, they have, effective January 1st, 2017, it is called a, quote, fee waiver pilot program for expunging or sealing certain case dispositions. Long story short, what this means is that you do not have to pay the $120 fee that the clerk of the circuit court normally imposes to get these sealings and expungements. And but it's only available for certain charges. And once again, I can't give legal advice here, but I can just generally provide guidance on where to go and the forms you need to fill. And of course, last but not least, I've got this very small little form. Let me show you this. Let's see if we can see a little, zoom it in there. Oh, figures. Here we go. If you need assistance, and I'm hoping that they can put this online, I have here the website for the Illinois Prisoner Review Board. I also have the Office of the State Appellate Defender. They cannot represent individuals, but they have a great phone-in line where they can give you information kind of like what I'm doing here. There's also the contact information for the Illinois Department of Public Health, and not last but not least, my favorite is the Cabrini Green Legal Aid. They've got this expungement help desk. And, hold on, let me go back to me. There you go, sorry. The Cabrini Green Legal Aid has got an expungement help desk that's in the Richard Day Daily Center on the 10th floor. And it's there Monday through Thursdays from 9 to noon. And they generally can assist the first 30 people that show up on that day. And once again, I'm Jan Kowalski. I'm here on behalf of Green Slate I, and this is a open mic call-in line. And you could call me with any questions as to expungement, sealing, or clemency at the phone number on your screen, which is 312-738-1060. The Cook County Bar Association can also assist you, and referrals to attorneys who might be able to help you with expungement or sealing. In addition, there's the Illinois Legal Aid Online. This is a relatively new service. It's www.illinoislegalaid.org. And you can post questions and have real live attorneys answer your questions. In addition, we've got the Chicago Bar Association. They've got a lawyer referral service. The Illinois State Bar Association also has a lawyer referral service, which generally provides a free, a 30-minute consultation for a cost not to exceed $25. And of course, my favorite is the AVVO website, which you can find at www.avvo.com. There are online are any number of profiles for attorneys who are able to assist people in helping get this expungement and sealing. Now, let me just go through a couple more misconceptions that people might have. Somebody might say, my case was dismissed, so there isn't anything to expunge. Surprise, surprise, you still need to get it expunged. If you were arrested, there will be an arrest record. There will be a mugshot, generally speaking. And these will be available to any prospective employers that are searching your background. My best advice is for you to go ahead and file, either pay the $120 or on this fee waiver program, it might even be free to file a petition to seek expungement, which is erasure. That way, this record, it's just an arrest record, won't be available to prospective employers or also to law enforcement. Because once it's expunged, it's completely erased from the system. So if you're stopped and they plug in your driver's license, this information is not supposed to be available to any law enforcement agency if they've run your record. And once again, I'm here for Green Slate I. You can reach me at 312-738-1060 with any questions as to clemency, sealing, and expungement. Another common misconception is that I was wrongly arrested. Why do I have to pay a filing fee? Well, shockingly, you still have to pay a filing fee. And generally speaking, it's $120 to file, unless you qualify under this fee waiver program. This fee waiver program is going to be available for the entire year 2017 through the Circuit Court of Cook County, so I encourage people to go ahead and get this expunged. Expungement isn't just for convictions, it's also for arrests. So if you've ever been arrested, if you've ever been taken to the station and maybe you don't even remember it, my best advice to you is to go to the jurisdiction and see whether there are any records that are in your name. You can go to the City of Chicago. The Central Police Records Division is at 3510 South Michigan. You can go between the hours, I believe, of 9 and noon, I'm going on memory here, and pay $16. They will fingerprint you. You need to bring your identification. And they will pull your rap sheet for you, and that way you will find out whether you've ever been arrested. Now, generally speaking, it's a $120 filing fee for each arrest you want to get expunged or sealed. However, under this pilot program, if it's an arrest without a conviction, you should be able to qualify for this fee waiver. So I encourage you to go down to the Richard J. Daley Center on the 10th floor and see if you can talk to someone from the Cabrini Green Legal Aid and see if they can help you complete the necessary forms. Now, the other thing is, with the Prisoner Review Board, the governor can grant clemency, but the Prisoner Review Board also has other avenues to assist ex-convicts, including they have a certificate of sealing, which is kind of, sealing is the secret. In other words, it's secrets from employer, but still it's accessible to law enforcement agencies. And even if the Prisoner Review Board does grant you a certificate of sealing, you're still going to need to apply to the jurisdiction to have your records sealed. So it's really a two-step proceeding. And again, I'm Jan Kowalski. I'm here on behalf of Green Slate I Incorporated, and I'm available for live questions at 312-738-1060, so I encourage you to call in with your questions. There are additional availability to get your records criminal records essentially changed. I don't know how to say this. One of them is called the Healthcare Workers Waiver. Now, this healthcare workers waiver is available through the Illinois Department of Public Health. And if the Illinois Department of Public Health grants this waiver, this may allow you to practice in your profession in spite of having a criminal history. The laws governing the licensing for healthcare workers have undergone significant changes. And the restrictions are, as I say here today, are presently uncertain and in flux. And if you do want to work in healthcare, you're going to have to seek a waiver by the Illinois Department of Public Health. And I encourage you to consult with the Cabrini Green Legal Aid Project or the Office of the State Appellate Defender can assist you, because it depends on what profession you are in the healthcare world as to which, whether and the requirements for getting the healthcare worker waiver. And additionally, there's this proceeding, it's called a certificate of rehabilitation. This doesn't steal your record. It doesn't expunge your record. Your record is there and available for the whole entire world to see. But what it does is it seeks to provide a level of comfort for employers. Essentially, if you have not had any offense during, I believe it's a 2-year period last time I checked, then they can provide you with a certificate of good conduct. And if you provide your employer with a certificate of good conduct, it indicates to your prospective employer that you essentially have not had any difficulties within the last 2 years. And that gives them some sort of reassurance. But it's better to go with some sort of certificate than nothing to a job interview. But bear in mind, we have a statute in Illinois. It's called Ban the Box in Employment. And what this means, the statute prohibits private employers with more than 15 employees from asking about a criminal record until, so they can ask about it, but not until the first interview, or if there is no interview, at the point of them making you a job offer. So ban the box refers to the ban on checking the box on the form, which automatically puts your employment application essentially in the shredder. Once again, I'm Jan Kowalski on behalf of Green Slate I, Inc., and this is a live interactive program, and I'm available for your calls at 312-738-1060. And you're watching CAN TV, and today's topic is clemency, expungement, and sealing. And if you want to give us a call and join the conversation, you can call me at 312-738-1060. There's an additional thing. The Illinois Human Rights Act prohibits discrimination in employment based upon criminal history, but only where the records have been ordered, expunged, or sealed. So let's go and let's file those petitions for expungement or sealing. Now, expungement is kind of limited because it's the eraser. That's the one that has the most stringent requirements. In order to be entitled to an expungement, which is your records are destroyed, they're completely removed from the police system. In addition, you have to make sure they take your mugshot off the system as well. Either that or it's going to be on mugshots.com. So when you go for an expungement, they remove, destroy, obliterate the records relating to any arrest. And that means taking them off the internet as well. It's very handy to have if there's just an arrest. And this pilot, the fee waiver pilot program for expunging or sealing certain case dispositions that was recently enacted by the Illinois legislature allows you to get this sealing or expungement without having to pay the $120 per arrest fee. Now, in order to be eligible for expungement, it used to be only those individuals who have never been convicted of a criminal offense would be eligible. But again, there's a new statute that became in effect January 1st, 2017, which is called Unexpungible Convictions on a Criminal Record No Longer Bar Expungement of Expungible Offenses, which is the legal babble for. The law used to be if you have more than one conviction, if you have any conviction, then you're not entitled to expungement. This changed the law. So if you have one conviction, now you can get the other 19 arrests expunged if you want to. But again, you're going to have to seek 19 separate petitions for expungement with it used to be a $120 fee per. But nowadays with this fee pilot waiver, you can seek to waive these fees. And it's a great incentive to go to the circuit court and get your arrest records completely obliterated and those mugshots taken down from whatever internet site that they're on. If you want to file, there are certain filing dates for petitions before the Prisoner Review Board. And these petitions relate to executive clemency, the certificate of sealing, and the certificate of expungement. And the next upcoming hearing date is, or I should say the deadline to file your petition for clemency is January 23rd, 2017 by 5 p.m. So I'm going to encourage you to timely complete your petition for clemency. Now I know you're dying to know what do I need to file in my petition for clemency. Now, the form is available on the Prisoner Review Board website, www.prb.com, but essentially they want to know why you've changed your life around. This is your chance to tell your story, why you should be given a second chance. And you need to put in every single fact, including your remorse, your necessity of the people that you're supporting, how this has been a pivotal event in your life. They want to know the story of your life, and you don't have to be Shakespeare on this one. Just tell them how it is. And let's see, it used to be, I want to say, hold on, 400 clemency petitions is the number that I have that are currently being filed each quarter. So that's 1,600 clemency petitions a year. Please make your clemency petition one of these. Let's just ask for clemency. If you do and are granted clemency, this is not an erasure from your record. It just means that you can go ahead and seek that your record be expunged after they give you clemency. It's not an automatic undo. Kind of like some people think, well, it was 20 years ago that I was arrested. My record just automatically disappeared. No, it didn't. Your fairy godmother did not magically erase your arrest record. There is no such thing as an automatic expungement. You need to go and file a petition to seek to have that record expunged, which is erased. And again, this is a live call-in show, and I'm Jan Kowalski. I'm here on behalf of Green Slate I, and you can call in with any questions as to sealing, clemency, expungement at the number on your screen, which is 312-738-1060. And I see my time's getting short here. But next week, I wanted to address a really important issue for ex-convicts, which is civil rights suits. I know there's been a lot of talk about civil rights, human rights, and it's important to know where to go to file a civil rights suit and how to go about doing it. And also is to find out whether you can do it yourself, because there's no requirement that says you need a fancy, expensive lawyer to file a civil rights suit, but that's for next week. Today, again, if you have any questions on clemency, sealing, or expungement, please feel free to call in. I'm Jan Kowalski, and I'm here on behalf of Green Slate I Incorporated. The number is 312-738-1060. Now, some people think that anything is expungible. Well, unfortunately, not everything is expungible. And it's not even, most people, well, it wasn't a violent felony. Well, it's still a felony. So oh, I see we have a caller. Caller, do you have a question or comment? Oh, I think we lost our caller.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Do we have a
Hello?
comment?
Yes, I have a question. My name is Donald, and I'd like to know if I have a felony conviction for possession of a gun as an adolescent, and I'm now almost 40 years old. Is there any way that I can get that expunged?
Well, I can't give legal advice related to your specific situation, but I'm going to encourage you to go to the 1006 in the Richard Day Daily Center. They're there Monday through Thursday from 9 to noon, and they help the first 30 people each day. They know backwards and forwards, inside and out, which offenses, which convictions qualify for expungement or sealing. So I'm going to encourage you, and I have their phone number if you want to call Cabrini Green Legal Aid. Their phone number is 312-738-2452. Either that, Office of the State Appellate Defender, OSAD. They also have a telephone line, and if you give them your conviction, I'm sure they'll be able to tell you what you would need to do to go about to see if it's expungible or sealable. And the other thing is, these rules that I've been providing, information, are all related to expunging and sealing clemency for adult offenders. Your question indicates that it was a juvenile. There's different rules relating to juvenile convictions, and I'm going to encourage you to follow up and see if you can get some assistance from the Cabrini Green Legal Aid. And again, thank you for your question, caller. And thank you for watching and participating in today's show. I'm Jan Kowalski with Get Real Legal, which is presented by Green Slate I Incorporated. And tonight we've been talking about clemency and expungement and sealing. And next week we're going to be talking about civil rights suits. And if you need more information, you can reach us at the Green Slate, which is 312-866-9748. And thank you, and you have a good night.